Hello, English learners. Welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we're looking at some more romance.
We're talking about dating.
Dating, exactly. And not only dating, but asking someone to become your boyfriend or girlfriend.
Yep, that's true. And so we're going to be focusing on language to express your romantic feelings. And also maybe some phrases you can use to ask someone out.
Very good. So I'm sure you guys are excited about this one. So let's listen to the dialogue for the first time.
Hey, you're early. Where's everyone?
Well, I told them not to come. I made a reservation just for the two of us. I thought we could have a quiet evening all to ourselves.
Oh, why?
Jennifer, there's something I want to ask you.
Sure. What is it?
Okay, here's the thing. I've always seen you as more than just a friend, and I can't take it anymore. I know you better than anyone. I know the pros and cons of your personality. I even know what side of the bed is yours. I think we would be great together, don't you?
Are you serious? We've been friends for years. We can't just change that overnight.
I know. I never had the guts to tell you. Until today. So what do you say? Are you willing to give me a shot?
All right, I wonder, is she going to say yes?
I don't know. She seems a little bit confused.
Well, I guess it's always strange when your best friend suddenly wants to be your boyfriend or girlfriend.
It does happen, though. It
Yep.
does happen. So why don't we take a look at some of the vocabulary that was used in this dialogue to express these feelings? And let's start with Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
Okay, so we're doing things a little differently today. We're looking at phrases and not just vocabulary words. So he used some wonderful phrases to ask her to be his boyfriend. And he started with this. Here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
All right. That's a very strange phrase. Here's the thing. Is
Yeah.
it giving her something?
Not quite. He's not giving her an object, but he's giving her some information.
Okay. So it's a very common way to start an idea.
That's right.
You're about to tell the person the main problem or the main...
The main piece of information.
Right? So you would start with, here's the thing, and then start explaining.
Okay, why don't we do an example?
For example, you could say, all right, here's the thing. People don't like you.
All right. Well, I hope they don't say that to me. But another example, Marco, here's the thing. We're behind in our podcasting. We have to work overtime.
Okay. So the main idea.
Yep.
Very good. Moving on to our next phrase.
He said, I can't take it.
I can't take it anymore.
I can't take it anymore.
So he can't take it anymore. Take what?
Well, why don't we find out by listening to some examples?
Example 1.
The man next door has been so loud. I can't take it anymore.
Example 2.
My boss always yells at me. I can't take it anymore.
Example 3.
I can't take it anymore. I'm going to quit.
All right. So basically is you can't stand it. You can't tolerate it anymore.
Exactly. This is a phrase we use when we are really frustrated.
But yeah, when we're frustrated or when we just can't handle it anymore. And well, after he finished his declaration of love, she responded by saying, are you serious?
Are you serious?
Are you serious?
Are you serious?
Okay, so what does she mean?
She's just saying, really?
Exactly. It's another way of saying really.
Yep. So this is a phrase that's really, it's quite informal, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't use it in a business context.
No, and it's also something that's used mostly by younger people.
Right. If you say something that's amazing or that's incredible, hard to believe, you might get this response.
Are you serious?
Right. So he is very serious, but he confessed that he never had the guts to tell her.
Have the guts.
I never had the guts to tell you.
I never had the guts.
All right, so to have guts,
That's to be brave.
to be brave, courageous.
Yep.
So we have some examples of how we would use guts in different situations, so let's listen.
Example 1.
I don't have the guts to go skydiving.
Example 2.
I don't have the guts to give a speech.
Example 3.
I've never had the guts to say no to my boss.
All right, so to have the guts to do something. Hey, but Marco, this word guts, it's an interesting one.
Yes, it is, because guts can also mean your internal organs.
Like your stomach and your intestines and your lungs.
Exactly. Those are your guts.
Yep. So when you have guts, you're really brave.
Exactly. You're courageous. Mm-hmm. All right, very good. Why don't we listen to the dialogue for the second time? We're going to slow it down a little bit, and we'll come back and look at some phrases and putting it together.
Hey, you're early. Where's everyone?
Well, I told them not to come. I made a reservation just for the two of us. I thought we could have a quiet evening all to ourselves.
Oh, why?
Jennifer, there's something I want to ask you.
Sure. What is it?
Okay. Here's the thing. I've always seen you as more than just a friend, and I can't take it anymore. I know you better than anyone. I know the pros and cons of your personality. I even know what side of the bed is yours. I think we would be great together, don't you?
Are you serious? We've been friends for years. We can't just change that overnight.
I know. I never had the guts to tell you until today. So, what do you say? Are you willing to give me a shot?
All right, so that's a little bit clearer this time. But while I was listening, I noticed that there's some more great phrases that you can use together with different words. So let's look at those now and putting it together.
Putting it together.
All right, let's take a look at the first one. He said, I made a reservation just for the two of us.
The two of us.
Just the two of us.
So just the two of us. Quite simply, it means you and me, just us, right?
Right, just us. So why is this phrase important?
I think it's a great way to show the idea of only us, right?
Right.
And we can use it together with any number we want.
So what about the four of us?
Just the four of us.
Okay.
Just the 8 of us.
Okay.
So it suggests the idea of only us. You know?
Okay. So he made the reservation just for the two of us because he thought they could have a quiet evening all to ourselves.
All to ourselves.
All to ourselves.
All to ourselves.
If you have something all to yourself, or we have something all to ourselves,
We have that thing all alone. We don't have to share it.
we don't share. Very
Yeah.
good. So I guess you can say, my parents are out of town, so I have the apartment, or I have the house all to myself.
Or even, she wants to eat the cake all to herself.
Very good. So that's a very good phrase.
And you can use it with any pronoun. Well, so the guy is explaining that I've always seen you as more than just a friend.
I've always seen you as.
I've always seen you as.
So basically is the perception or the way you consider that person.
The way you think about that person.
So I can say, I've always seen you as a good friend.
I've always seen you as a leader. Okay, so our last phrase is also the last thing we heard in the dialogue. He said, are you willing to give me a shot?
Are you willing to give me a shot?
To give me a shot.
Give me a shot. All right, I think we have some more examples of how we could use give me a shot in different situations, so let's listen.
Example 1.
I know I can do this drawing better. Just give me a shot.
Example 2.
The HR manager wasn't going to hire me, but he decided to give me a shot.
Okay, so when you give someone a shot, you take a chance, right?
Give that person or give an opportunity.
All right, so we don't know if she will give him a shot or not, but why don't we listen to the dialogue once more to hear these phrases in action?
Hey, you're early. Where's everyone?
Well, I told them not to come. I made a reservation just for the two of us. I thought we could have a quiet evening all to ourselves.
Oh, why?
Jennifer, there's something I want to ask you.
Sure. What is it?
Okay, here's the thing. I've always seen you as more than just a friend, and I can't take it anymore. I know you better than anyone. I know the pros and cons of your personality. I even know what side of the bed is yours. I think we would be great together, don't you?
Are you serious? We've been friends for years. We can't just change that overnight.
I know. I never had the guts to tell you. Until today. So what do you say? Are you willing to give me a shot?
All right, so an interesting dialogue, and it opens up a cultural point.
That's right. So in the dialogue, the guy was asking her if she would be his girlfriend, right?
Right, but I guess it's not very common among adults, at least.
Yep.
In English-speaking countries.
Yeah, we don't say like, okay, so please will you be my boyfriend now, you know?
Right. You would do that maybe in high school.
But even then, I think it's still a little funny. I think for us, when we start to have romantic relationships, it just sort of happens naturally, right?
Right.
You never really have this conversation, will you be my boyfriend?
Right, I guess afterwards you just start talking about other things which you just consider that you guys are already boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
But there's no
official starting point.
Yeah, there's no official point that says, okay, now we are boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yep.
Which is interesting because in other countries, they do go through the formality of asking somebody to become their boyfriend.
Yeah. But even, like 20 or 30 years ago in English-speaking countries, you would do this.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And it was called going steady.
Going steady.
So you would ask, will you go steady with me?
And that means let's become a stable couple.
Exactly.
All right, so we want to hear your stories. And, well, how do you do it in your country? Do you ask someone out? Do you maybe just give them the first kiss and that's an automatic yes?
Well, I don't know, but I'm looking forward to hearing from our listeners. So guys, check out our website, englishpod.com. You can leave your questions and comments there.
All right, we'll see you guys there. And until next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Hi, are you ready to listen to our story? It was a quiet evening, and Jack found himself sitting at a small table in a cozy cafe, waiting. The lights dimmed as the soft hum of chatter surrounded him, but his mind wasn't on the crowd. He had been thinking about this moment for weeks, maybe even months. It was time. Time to finally say the thing he had been keeping inside for so long. He looked at the empty chair across from him and smiled. She would be here soon, and he knew he couldn't wait any longer. His heart was racing, but he took a deep breath. This wasn't just any conversation, it was the conversation. The one where he would reveal everything. The door opened, and there she was, Lily, with her bright eyes and that warm smile that always made him feel at ease. But today, something was different. She walked towards him, and Jack felt his palms start to sweat. It was now or never. She sat down, and for a moment, they just exchanged small talk, talking about the weather, the latest news, all the usual things. But Jack could feel the weight of the moment pressing on him. Finally, he cleared his throat. Lily, he began, trying to sound calm. There's something I need to tell you. She looked up at him, her curiosity piqued. What's on your mind, Jack? Jack hesitated for a moment. This was the hard part. Well, I've been thinking about us, about you and me, and I've realized I can't just pretend anymore. Lily raised an eyebrow, clearly puzzled. What do you mean? Jack took another deep breath. I think we could be something more than just friends. I've always felt there was something special between us, something deeper than just friendship. And today, I want to take the chance and ask you, would you ever consider being more than just friends? Lily sat back in her chair, her eyes wide with surprise. She blinked a few times, clearly processing Jack's words. The cafe's ambient noise seemed to fade away, and for a moment, it felt like the whole world had paused. Jack's heart pounded in his chest, the silence hanging between them like a thick fog. I didn't expect that, Lily finally said, her voice quieter than usual. Jack's stomach twisted. Was she going to say no? Was this the moment where everything changed, where their friendship was shattered by his boldness? He quickly pushed those thoughts aside, trying to keep his composure. He had already said it. Now, there was nothing to do but wait. I mean, we've been friends for so long, Lily continued, her eyes searching his face as if trying to find the right words. I don't know if it's possible to just change that overnight. Jack nodded, understanding the hesitation. He had been afraid of this. It wasn't easy to cross that line from friendship to something more. I know, he said softly. It's not something that happens all at once. But I've always seen you as more than a friend. I don't know why I've waited so long to tell you. Maybe I was scared. Lily looked down, her fingers playing with the edge of her coffee cup. The silence stretched out again, but this time, Jack didn't mind. He had laid his feelings bare, and now it was her turn to process. After a few moments, Lily finally spoke again. Jack, you're right. We've been through so much together. But this is different. It's not like anything I've ever felt before. She paused, looking up at him with a mix of uncertainty and curiosity. What if it doesn't work out? What if we ruin everything? Jack's voice was steady now, his confidence growing with every word. I don't know, but I do know that if we don't try, we'll never know. And I can't live with that regret. He leaned forward slightly, his eyes locked on hers. Lily, I'm asking you to take a chance with me. Let's see where this goes. We might surprise ourselves. Lily's expression softened, and for the first time that evening, Jack saw a glimmer of hope in her eyes. I'll think about it, she said quietly. Jack smiled. It wasn't a yes yet, but it was something. And for now, that was enough. The next few days felt like an eternity for Jack. Every time his phone buzzed, his heart skipped a beat. Was it Lily? Was it a message telling him she was ready to take that chance? But each time, it was just another notification, an email, a work message, a group chat. Nothing from her. He couldn't help it. He replayed their conversation over and over in his mind. He knew it had been a big moment for both of them, but was it too big? Did he push her too hard, too soon? It was hard to be patient, especially when he felt this connection, this pull toward her. Jack decided to give her space. He didn't want to seem desperate or impatient, but every time he saw her, he found himself looking for answers in her eyes. He'd catch glimpses of her at work, during their daily hangouts with friends, but nothing seemed different. She was as friendly as ever, laughing at his jokes and sharing stories, but there was no sign of what they had talked about. Was she thinking about it too? Then, on the fourth day after their conversation, Jack was walking through the park when he saw Lily sitting alone on a bench, looking up at the sky. Something in the way she was sitting told him she was deep in thought, her expression a little more serious than usual. He hesitated for a moment. Should he approach her, or wait until she was ready to talk? He took a breath and made his decision. He walked over and sat down beside her without saying a word. Lily turned to him, her eyes soft but tired. Jack, she began, I've been thinking about what you said a lot. Jack's heart skipped, and he looked at her with a mixture of hope and nervousness. And I don't know, she said slowly. I didn't want to rush into anything. You know, I've always valued our friendship so much. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized maybe I've been scared too. Scared? Jack asked, his voice gentle. Lily nodded. Yeah, scared of what would happen if we tried something more. What if it changes everything? What if it doesn't work out? Jack smiled, feeling a wave of relief wash over him. Lily, I get it. I've been scared too. But sometimes you have to take a leap. We don't know what will happen, but I do know this. I care about you. A lot. And I'd rather try and see where it goes than always wonder what if. Lily looked at him, her eyes searching his face for sincerity. After a long pause, she smiled softly. All right, Jack. I'm willing to give this a shot. Jack couldn't believe his ears. His heart was racing. Really? Really, she replied, her voice steady but full of warmth. And just like that, It felt as if everything had changed, but in the best way possible. It was a strange feeling, like walking through a door that had always been there but never opened until now. Jack and Lily had spent so much time together as friends, and now it was like they were stepping into uncharted territory. It felt exciting, but there was also a quiet uncertainty hanging in the air, like they were both figuring out what this new chapter was supposed to look like. Their first day as more than friends was simple, but it was filled with small, meaningful moments. They went for a walk in the park, something they had done countless times before, but this time it felt different. The way their hands brushed together as they walked, the way they exchanged shy smiles, everything seemed charged with a new energy. "So, what now?" Lily asked, breaking the comfortable silence between them. Jack chuckled. "I guess we keep doing what we've been doing. Just more of it. Together." Lily laughed, her voice light and carefree. "Yeah, but now we get to be together, right? That's a little different." Jack grinned, feeling a little more at ease. "Definitely different, but I think I'm okay with it. How about you?" "I'm still figuring it out," Lily admitted, her tone playful yet thoughtful. "I mean, we've always been so close, but now it's a little more complicated. In a good way, though." Jack nodded. "Yeah, it's definitely new, but I think we'll figure it out. One step at a time." As they continued walking, Jack couldn't help but notice how much more natural it felt to be with her now. There was no tension, no awkwardness. It was like they were finally being honest with each other about what had always been there. He found himself laughing more freely, enjoying her company in a way he hadn't allowed himself to before. Later that evening, they sat down for dinner at a small restaurant, just the two of them. The conversation flowed easily, and even though they were in a romantic setting, it felt like they were still the same two people they had always been, only now they shared something deeper. "So, do you feel different?" Lily asked as they shared a dessert, her eyes studying him closely. Jack thought for a moment. "I don't know. I guess I feel happier. Like, it's been so easy being around you, but now it feels like we are not holding anything back. It feels like we are finally on the same page." Lily smiled. "I think I feel that too. Like there's this weight that's been lifted, even though nothing's really changed except for us admitting it." "Exactly," Jack agreed. "It's funny how something that's been there for so long can suddenly feel so new." They finished their dinner, and as they left the restaurant, Jack felt a sense of calm settle over him. It wasn't about grand gestures or big moments. It was about the quiet understanding between them, the comfort in knowing that they had made a choice together. A choice to step into something new and to take it one day at a time. As they walked back to their cars, Jack turned to Lily and said, "I'm really glad we decided to try this." "Me too," she replied, her voice soft but certain. "Let's see where it goes." And with that, they both knew that whatever happened next, they were ready to face it together. The following weeks flew by in a blur of new experiences, small but meaningful moments, and the occasional nervous excitement. Jack and Lily's relationship, though still new, felt like something they had been building for years, even if neither of them had known it until recently. At first, there were small adjustments, getting used to calling each other babe or sweetheart, learning how to balance time spent with friends and time alone together, and figuring out the unspoken rules of being a couple. It wasn't always smooth sailing, but neither of them expected it to be. They both knew that they were growing and learning as they went along, and they were okay with that. One evening, they were sitting on the couch in Jack's apartment, watching a movie they had both seen 100 times before. The kind of movie you could quote line for line, but you never got tired of. "Do you remember the first time we watched this?" Jack asked, his eyes not leaving the screen. Lily nodded, smiling. "Yeah, I think I was way too serious about the plot back then. I kept asking you questions about every little detail. I'm pretty sure I annoyed you." Jack laughed. You didn't annoy me. I just wasn't used to someone who paid so much attention to the details. It was cute. Cute. Lily raised an eyebrow. You called me cute. Jack shrugged, still grinning. Well, yeah, you were. You still are. Lily laughed softly, her heart warming at his words. You always know how to make me feel special, Jack. He turned to look at her, his expression softening. You are special, Lily. You always have been. I guess I was too afraid to admit it before. Lily's smile faded slightly, and she reached over to take his hand. I think I've always known it, but it's nice to hear you say it. It feels real, you know. Jack squeezed her hand gently. It is real. All of it. I'm not going anywhere. The sincerity in his voice made her heart flutter. It was moments like this, quiet, simple moments, that made her realize how much she had needed this. Needed him. She had never truly understood what it meant to be in a relationship until now. It wasn't about grand gestures or saying the right things. It was about being there for each other, even when life got messy, even when things weren't perfect. A few days later, they had their first small disagreement. It wasn't a big fight, but it was the kind of miscommunication that made Jack realize just how much they were still figuring out. They had planned a day trip to the beach, but something had come up for Lily at work, and she couldn't make it. Jack was disappointed, and though Lily had apologized, he felt a pang of frustration that they couldn't make their plans work. He spent the afternoon walking around the beach alone, trying to clear his head. That night, when they talked about it, Lily was the first to speak. I'm really sorry, Jack. I didn't want to let you down. I know, Jack said, running a hand through his hair. But I don't know. I guess I just thought we'd have this perfect day together, and when it didn't happen, I felt a little, I don't know, left out. Lily's face softened. I didn't mean to make you feel that way. It's just that work sometimes gets in the way of everything, and I didn't want to ruin our plans, but I didn't know how else to handle it. Jack looked at her for a moment, then let out a deep sigh. I get it. I guess I was just hoping we could make time for each other. But I'm learning that it doesn't always work out the way we plan. And that's okay. Lily smiled, her eyes full of warmth. Yeah, I think we are both learning a lot about each other, and about ourselves. They both fell silent for a moment, reflecting on what had just been said. It wasn't an easy conversation, but it was real. And that's what mattered most. They both wanted to make this work, and sometimes that meant having difficult conversations and learning how to compromise. As Jack looked at Lily, he realized how far they had come in such a short amount of time. They weren't perfect, and neither was their relationship, but they were willing to put in the effort. They were learning to communicate, to understand each other's needs, and to support one another, no matter what. Jack smiled and took her hand. You know, I'm really glad we are doing this together. Lily squeezed his hand back. Me too. And with that, they both knew that no matter what challenges came their way, they would face them side by side. A week had passed since their first real disagreement, and Jack and Lily were feeling more confident in their relationship. They had learned to navigate small bumps in the road, and even though things weren't always perfect, they were growing closer each day. One Saturday afternoon, Jack invited Lily to join him for a surprise. He wouldn't tell her where they were going, just that he had planned something special. Lily, excited and curious, agreed without hesitation. They drove out of the city, minding through familiar streets that soon gave way to rolling hills and open fields. Jack kept glancing at Lily with a secretive smile, and she couldn't help but laugh at his playful expression. Where are we going, Jack? She asked for what felt like the 100th time. He chuckled. It's a surprise. Just trust me. After about an hour, they arrived at a beautiful, quiet lake surrounded by trees. The sun was beginning to set, casting a golden glow over the water. The scene felt like something out of a movie, and Lily couldn't help but be amazed. Wow, she whispered, taking in the peaceful view. This is perfect. Jack smiled as he opened the door to the car. I thought you'd like it. They spent the next few hours by the water, walking along the shore, talking about everything and nothing. The conversation was lighthearted at first, but as the evening went on, they found themselves opening up more, sharing things they hadn't yet discussed. Lily revealed how she had always dreamed of living by a lake, surrounded by nature, away from the hustle and bustle of the city. She talked about her childhood memories of spending summers by the water with her family and how much she missed the tranquility of those moments. I never really appreciated it back then, she said thoughtfully. But now, I see how important it is, how it grounds me. Jack listened intently, his heart swelling with affection for her. I get that, he said quietly. I've never really thought about it that way, but I can see why it means so much to you. They sat on a nearby bench as the sun dipped lower, casting long shadows across the lake. Jack looked at Lily, her face bathed in the soft golden light, and for a moment he couldn't believe how lucky he was to be here with her. I'm glad we are here together, he said, his voice sincere. This feels right. I feel like I'm really getting to know the real you. Lily turned to him, her expression warm and genuine. I feel the same way. I think we are learning more about each other every day, and I'm excited for what comes next. Jack smiled, his eyes meeting hers. Me too. I think this is just the beginning. As the sky darkened, they made their way back to the car. The ride home was filled with comfortable silence, both of them content in each other's company. Jack felt a deep sense of peace, knowing that they were continuing to grow together. The challenges, the learning, the small moments of connection, it was all part of the journey. As they pulled up to Lily's apartment, Jack turned off the engine and looked over at her. Thank you for today. I'm really glad we did this. Lily smiled softly, her eyes sparkling in the dim light. It was perfect. I think it's one of the best days we've had together. Jack leaned in, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. I'm glad you think so. They shared a quiet moment, just looking at each other, and for the first time in a while, Jack felt truly content. This was real, and it was theirs. They were building something beautiful, one day at a time. The months that followed were a blur of shared laughter, long conversations, and moments of quiet understanding. Jack and Lily were no longer just learning how to be together. They were learning how to truly support each other, how to grow individually while also growing as a couple. The foundation they had built felt solid, and every new experience seemed to strengthen that bond. One evening, as winter began to settle in and the days grew shorter, Jack surprised Lily with a visit to a local art exhibit. It wasn't something they had planned, but Jack had noticed how much Lily enjoyed art over the past few months, how she often spoke about the creativity that inspired her. This is a surprise, Lily said, her eyes bright with excitement as they entered the gallery. I didn't know you were into art. Jack grinned. I'm not really, but I figured I could learn to appreciate it, especially if you're interested in it. Lily laughed, touched by his thoughtfulness. Well, you're in for a treat then. Art has a way of making you see the world differently. As they moved through the exhibit, Jack could see how much Lily appreciated the art around them. Her eyes sparkled as she analyzed each piece, discussing the colors, the emotions, the stories behind the brushstrokes. Jack didn't know much about art, but seeing her so passionate about it made him appreciate it in a way he never had before. They paused in front of a large abstract painting. It was chaotic, with swirls of color clashing together in an almost aggressive way, but there was something undeniably captivating about it. Lily stood in front of it for a long moment, lost in thought. Jack watched her, the way her brow furrowed slightly as she tried to decipher what the artist was conveying. What do you think it means? Jack asked, intrigued by the intensity in her gaze. Lily shrugged, her lips curling into a thoughtful smile. I think it's about conflict. How emotions can swirl together and create something beautiful, even if it looks messy at first. Jack nodded, impressed by her interpretation. I never would have thought of it that way. Lily turned to him, her eyes soft. That's the thing about art, though. It makes you think in ways you never have before. It opens your mind to new ideas. As they continued exploring the gallery, Jack found himself drawn into the experience more than he expected. He asked questions about the pieces, listened to Lily's explanations, and found himself thinking about the art in ways that connected to his own life. There was something deeply personal about it all. Later, as they sat at a small cafe after the exhibit, sipping coffee, Jack reflected on the day. You know, I think I'm starting to understand why you love art so much. It's not just about the paintings. It's about the emotions, the stories behind them. It's about seeing things differently. Lily smiled, her eyes glowing with happiness. Exactly. Art is all about perspective. It teaches you that there's always more to a story than meets the eye. And I think that's something we are both learning in our relationship too. Jack raised an eyebrow. What do you mean? Lily leaned back in her chair, her fingers tracing the rim of her coffee cup. Well, we've both had our moments of confusion, haven't we? Our misunderstandings. But through it all, we've been learning to look at things from each other's perspective. We've learned that there's more to each situation than just our own feelings. Jack nodded slowly, impressed by her insight. I think you're right. We've come a long way since the beginning, haven't we? Lily laughed softly. We have, and I think we'll keep learning, keep growing. Jack smiled, feeling a deep sense of contentment. I'm really happy we are doing this together. Me too, Lily replied. It's not always perfect, but it's real. And that's what matters. They sat in comfortable silence for a while, both of them savoring the warmth of the coffee and the quiet connection they shared. It wasn't about grand gestures or dramatic moments. It was about the small, everyday experiences that made up their lives together. And Jack knew, without a doubt, that this was only the beginning of a beautiful journey. The holidays arrived sooner than Jack and Lily expected. With the season's chilly air and festive decorations lighting up every corner of the city, it seemed like the perfect time to reflect on how far they had come in their relationship. They had spent months together now, learning each other's quirks, sharing moments of joy and frustration, and building something that felt real. But this season, they decided, would be their first big test as a couple. One afternoon, they sat down to plan their holiday schedules. Both had family traditions they didn't want to miss, but they also wanted to spend time together, creating their own new traditions. It was important to them to strike a balance between their individual lives and their relationship. I'm really looking forward to spending Christmas Eve with you, Jack said as he scribbled down the dates in his planner. But I know you've got your family's holiday dinner that night, right? Lily nodded, her face lighting up at the thought of the gathering. Yeah, my mom always makes this huge dinner with all my cousins. It's a bit chaotic, but it's always fun. It's like a tradition I don't want to miss. I know it's important to me, but I also want to make sure we get some quiet time together too. Jack smiled. I get it. How about we do something small the night before Christmas? Just the two of us. Maybe we can cook together or have a cozy movie night. Lily's eyes brightened. That sounds perfect. I love when it's just the two of us. No rush, no expectations. Just being together. Jack felt a rush of affection for her. Me too. It's these moments I cherish the most. As Christmas Eve approached, Jack and Lily both found themselves busy with their respective families. Jack was helping his parents decorate their house for their annual holiday party, while Lily was preparing for her family's dinner. There was a slight feeling of tension as they both tried to juggle everything, not wanting to disappoint anyone. They both valued their families deeply, but at times, it felt like there wasn't enough time for both worlds. On Christmas Eve, Lily called Jack as she was on her way to her family's gathering. I'm sorry if I'm not as present this year, she said with a soft sigh. I just feel like I'm being pulled in a million different directions. Jack could hear the frustration in her voice, and he understood. Hey, don't worry. I totally get it. I'm running around with my parents too, so I know what it's like. We'll make sure to have our time tomorrow, I promise. Lily smiled at his words, feeling a sense of relief. Thanks, Jack. I'm glad we are on the same page. I just don't want to let you down, you know. I don't feel let down, Jack reassured her. I want you to enjoy the time with your family, and I'm sure we'll have plenty of memories to create when we are together. After they hung up, Jack found himself reflecting on their conversation. They both understood the delicate balance of relationships, the push and pull of responsibilities, the way they needed to be flexible to accommodate their individual lives, but also the importance of making space for each other. He realized that it wasn't always going to be perfect, but the fact that they cared so much about making it work meant everything. The next morning, after the whirlwind of family celebrations, Jack and Lily finally found themselves alone together. They decided to spend Christmas Day in their own way, just the two of them. They had a quiet breakfast at home, then spent the afternoon walking through a park, admiring the decorations and the winter landscape. This is exactly what I needed, Lily said, wrapping her scarf tightly around her neck as they walked side by side. It's nice to just slow down for a moment and not feel like we are rushing anywhere. Jack nodded. I agree. Sometimes the best moments are the ones that aren't planned, just the little things. As the day drew to a close, they sat together in front of a fireplace at Lily's apartment, sipping hot chocolate and talking about their hopes for the future. There was no pressure, no expectations, just the warmth of the fire and the comfort of each other's company. It was one of those moments that felt timeless, like a memory they would both hold onto forever. I'm really glad we did this, Lily said quietly, looking over at Jack with a soft smile. It's not about the gifts or the big celebrations. It's about being with you. Jack smiled back, his heart full. Me too. I think we are making our own traditions now, and they are even better than I imagined. As the evening wore on, Jack and Lily talked about everything and nothing. The world outside felt far away, and in that moment, they were perfectly content. They knew there would be challenges ahead, but they also knew they were ready to face them together. It wasn't about perfect timing or flawless plans. It was about being there for each other, no matter what. And with that, they both knew that the best was yet to come. As the new year approached, Jack and Lily found themselves in a comfortable rhythm. The chaos of the holidays had passed, and now they were settling into a quieter, more intentional phase of their relationship. The world felt a little calmer, but the excitement of what was to come still hung in the air. One evening, as they sat together on the couch, reflecting on the past year, Lily spoke up. You know, Jack, I never expected everything to change so quickly. I thought it would take longer for us to figure things out. Jack looked at her, a soft smile forming on his lips. I guess when it feels right, you just know. We didn't need to force it. We've been building this connection for years. Lily nodded, her eyes thoughtful. It's strange, isn't it? How something can be there all along, just waiting for the right moment to surface. Jack reached over and took her hand, his fingers gently brushing over hers. I think that's what makes it so special. We didn't rush it. We didn't try to force anything. We just let it happen. And it's real. She smiled, squeezing his hand. Yeah, it is. And I'm really glad we are doing this together. The moment felt peaceful, like everything had fallen into place. There was no need for grand declarations or big gestures. What they had was simple, but it was exactly what they needed. They had built something strong, something steady. And for the first time in a long while, Jack felt truly at ease. Later that evening, they sat together on the balcony, watching the city lights twinkle in the distance. It was a quiet moment, but it was exactly what they both needed. The new year was just around the corner, and while they didn't know what it would bring, they knew they were ready to face it together. I think we've learned a lot this year, Lily said softly, her voice barely above a whisper. Jack turned to look at her, his gaze tender. We have, and I'm excited for all the lessons yet to come. We're in this together, and that's the most important part. Lily smiled, leaning her head on his shoulder. I couldn't agree more. As the clock ticked toward midnight, Jack took a deep breath, savoring the calmness that surrounded them. There was no need for fireworks or fanfare. The real joy was in the quiet moments, in the steady love that they had built. And as the year ended and the new one began, they both knew one thing for sure. Whatever the future held, they would face it together. Happy New Year, Jack, Lily said, her voice filled with warmth and promise. Happy New Year, Lily, Jack replied, his voice full of love. And with that, they shared a kiss, knowing that whatever came next, they had already found everything they needed in each other.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. You and me.
Two of us.
Just for us and no one else.
All to ourselves.
Phrase used to begin explaining a situation or problem.
Here's the thing.
Good things and bad things about a person.
Pros and cons.
Courage. Brave.
Guts.
To let someone have a try.
Give someone a shot.
Phrase used to indicate that you are dating someone.
Going out.
To become someone's boyfriend or girlfriend.
Get with.
To ask someone to join you on a romantic date.
Ask out.
Having a very close relationship. Very warm and friendly.
Intimate.
To kiss.
Make out.
Let's try that faster. You and me.
Two of us.
Phrase used to indicate that you are dating someone.
Going out.
Having a very close relationship. Very warm and friendly.
Intimate.
To ask someone to join you on a romantic date.
Ask out.
Good things and bad things about a person.
Pros and cons.
To let someone have a try.
Give someone a shot.
Phrase used to begin explaining a situation or problem.
Here's the thing.
Courage. Brave.
Guts.
To kiss.
Make out.
Just for us and no one else.
All to ourselves.
To become someone's boyfriend or girlfriend.
Get with.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence. Good evening, sir. Do you have a reservation? Hi, I'm calling to make a dinner reservation. I have a reservation for a group of 4. The man next door is so loud. I can't take it anymore. My boss always yells at me. I can't take it anymore. I'm going to quit. I couldn't take her complaining anymore, so I broke up with her. Are you serious? Why do you suddenly want to move out? You're getting married? Are you serious? He said he loves you? Are you serious?
Guts.
I don't have the guts to go skydiving.
Guts.
I don't have the guts to give a speech.
Guts.
I never had the guts to say no to my boss. What do you say we go for dinner? Let's move to Hawaii. What do you say? So, what do you say? Will you come?